Good afternoon. Is it afternoon na? Good morning. Thank you very much, Richard and Rebecca, for inviting me to this afternoon's forum, or this morning's forum, to share my story. Well, before I start, let me show you a little bit about something, or a bit of something about our company, Executive Genesis Services Incorporated.
For years, you have allowed us to redefine what it means to care. To care is to bridge the gap. We provide workforce solutions to meet your needs, and we will walk with you throughout the entire process. From recruitment, to training, to employment. Together with thousands of skilled and semi-skilled workers, we build bridges that connect you closer to your customer. And as we lift the weight of staffing off of your shoulders, you can simply focus on growing your business. To care is to build a long-lasting connection. We have been in the business for 3 decades and counting. And our history has always been interconnected with yours. We have made long-lasting partnerships with companies, brands, and agencies that operate in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. We care for our clients the way you would care for your business. Focused, consistent, and goal-oriented. When we work together, your vision becomes our vision. Your goal becomes our goal, and we walk hand in hand towards the future. To care is to help people thrive. Our bread and butter will always be our ability to bring the right people to the right jobs, so they can be a blessing not just to your business, but also to their families. We take pride in our people who are dedicated to serve day in and day out, and will exhibit godly values so they too can be worthy of your trust.
Here in Executive Genesis, we always say that more businesses means more jobs created. We are doing this for 2 reasons: for businesses to grow and for families to thrive. To our valued clients who walked with us all these years, thank you for your trust. We look forward to more years of journeying together.
Throughout our past, now in our present, and soon in our future, you always come first.
My journey was filled with challenges that shaped me into a skilled businesswoman in a male-dominated field. Like many businesses, mine also faced initial struggles when starting out. But I was not a businesswoman, neither did I come from a family of businessmen. I had no business genes, so to speak. I started as a DJ in a local FM radio station. A simple life in pursuit of bigger dreams. When I finished college, or my studies, this provinciana from Pangasinan decided to leave her hometown and went to Manila for greener pastures and better opportunities. Little did I know that this adventure that I seek in the big city will eventually define a purpose in me. It wasn't easy. It started with the struggles of even making it in the corporate world, and these difficulties were highlighted by the challenges of competing for career growth with equally capable men who are educated in bigger and more prominent universities. I was fortunate to have landed a job with Panasonic, or the Matsushita Electric Philippines Corporation. I was part of their sales team. A few years later, by the grace of God, And despite the competition that was predominantly male, I became the first female regional sales manager for North Luzon. It was such a point when I discovered my advocacy, handling people, managing my job's affairs within my area of responsibility, dealing with clients, attending to their needs. This turned a page in my book and made me think of running my own business, a business centered on labor and employment. I was in a lot of doubt. I prayed for it. I was very much unsure, but I knew what I wanted to do. So with the eager support of the people closest to my heart, I took the plunge and established Executive Genesis Services Incorporated on November 20, 1993. 30 years ago po yon. But please, wag niyo na pong tanungin kung ilang taon po ako when I started the business. When I established Exigen, I faced a stark reality, limited funding. With just a small office, 2 desks, and a handful of employees, the financial constraints were overwhelming, but my determination was unwavering. At this time, we have thousands of people deployed all over the country. The cutthroat competition in the service contracting industry, coupled with abuses to manpower at that time, prevented a speedy ascent to the heights that we had envisioned to achieve when we started the business. But we persevered. We may have been slower in the ascent, but we made sure that we did it our way, which for us is the right way, especially in labor and employment. My journey took an unexpected turn in 2010 when my husband passed away from cancer. Suddenly, I found myself not just fighting for my business, but also raising our son alone. This period tested my strength like never before, both as a businesswoman and as a mother. I navigated through this storm by leaning on a strong support network of family and friends and channeling my energy into my work and my son. By the way, Dean, Darlene, your daughter's 26 years old, my son is 27 years old. Might as well set a meeting, okay, for them, all right? Balancing the roles of CEO and a single parent taught me resilience in its truest form. I learned to prioritize, delegate, and most importantly, to accept help when needed. These lessons were crucial not only for surviving that period during that period, but for thriving in the years that followed. Joining PulseCon in 2014, an organization dedicated to creating employment opportunities, further motivated me to advocate for empowering women in business, either through my own example or by inspiring others. In 2016, perhaps by faith or maybe by design, I was shoved into the presidency of PulseCon. When I stepped into the presidency of PulseCon, it was a time when the entire industry was at the forefront of the issue of the proposed banning of contractualization that placed service contracting in the risk of peril. It began with a presidential campaign promise to stop contractualization within the next 6 months of his presidency, if he wins and Mr. Duterte won that election. When the new administration took office, the drive to absolutely ban all forms of contractualization in the Philippines took center stage. Thus began one of the most challenging chapters in the life of PulseCon, the service contracting industry, and me. I think it is safe to say that most of us here, at least in this room, still remember this.
The moment I assume the presidency, contractualization will stop.
The
declaration, a bold statement that we are one with the government in the campaign to eradicate, to abolish 555 and ENDO.
Trying to get rid of 555, how would PALSCON help?
Well, actually, Kathy, with the implementation of DO 18-A, the number of service contractings has been radically reduced to like almost 70% already. And PALSCON as an organization has been, as I've said, has been helping the government to campaign for the abolition of 555. So what we do now is to comply with the set of regulations set by DOLE. Service contracting. And when you say legitimate service contracting, we give full benefits to all.
Yes.
We comply with the general labor standards issued by the Department of Labor and Employment. We also provide occupational health and safety standards.
Ayon naman sa mga employers,
Ang service contracting po ay nag-generate din po ng more than 1 million jobs sa Pilipinas. So kapag nawala ho itong industriya na to, mawawala din po ang maraming trabaho sa Pilipinas.
This is not about us anymore. This is not about the business that we're trying to protect. This is about the Filipino workers na mawawalan ng trabaho.
Call on Miss Rhoda Caliwara of PALSCON. Ma'am, you're recognized.
Thank you. Honorable Senator Joel Villanueva, Chairperson of the Senate Committee on Labor, Employment, and Human Resource Development,
We faithfully observe our code of ethical and professional conduct as a business organization
and subscribe to the highest principles of integrity, responsibility, accountability, and fairness in dealing with job seekers, workers, and client companies.
PALSCON. Magandang hapon po. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and maraming salamat din po. Good afternoon sa ating mga senators po. Kung tayo ay talagang mga manggagana po ang iisipin natin, sana po ang pag-iusap na lang po siguro namin, yung heart of strategy would be job generation and job preservation. Thank you po.
The next couple of years were almost exclusively about survival for PALSCON. We in PALSCON scampered for means to protect the industry. We fought to satisfy both the objectives to break the misconceptions over service contracting and to enforce compliance. We endeavored to make people understand that we are not a 555 or an endo industry, that we contribute to the national economy by the employment that we generate. It cannot be denied that everything that PALSCON did was instrumental in the veto of the dreaded Security of Tenure Bill. It was a triumph for the industry. Instead of a law banning contracting and subcontracting, a stricter regulation came to be. And when the smoke cleared, I found myself to be the first and only four-term president of the association, Philippine Association of Legitimate Service Contractors. So for 8 long years, a woman had to carry the organization to new heights. I thought, though, that I was just fortunate enough to have been forced to reach or to react to challenges the way that I should and the way that I did. And I thank God that He has given me the wisdom to lead an organization that represents an entire industry and for giving me the strength to stand in equal footing with the men of PALSCON that comprise the majority of its members and officers. During this time, PALSCON became more influential We strengthened our relationship with government agencies like DOLE, TESDA, DTI, and local governments, as well as with organizations like USAID. We were actively involved in hosting and supporting various events and discussions about business, employment, and service contracting. Committed to developing people's skills, we also set up the PulseCon Training Academy and launched Pulse Connect on Facebook Live. It is fair to say that after a couple of years since 2016, that we have faced a tremendous amount of challenges, but we have accomplished some pretty good undertakings too. But then the pandemic happened. The COVID-19 deeply impacted our lives, economies, and businesses, and it forced us to halt most of our operations, while we also focused on taking care of our employees. And despite these challenges, we adapted to the new normal, embracing change and focusing on learning, diversifying, and innovating to move forward. In May 2020, we launched The Negosyente by Rhoda Castro Caliwara. It's a YouTube channel to inspire women in entrepreneurship. As I was actually encouraged by a story of one of our deployed employees whose father lost his job, got depressed, and committed suicide. So when I learned about this story, I asked myself, is there anything else I can do in my own little way, using my God-given talents to help? The channel promotes the idea that business can reduce poverty and create more jobs. It gained popularity and was eventually featured on ABS-CBN and GMA's online platforms. This afternoon, I will finally step down and pass the torch of leadership to the next worthy president of PulseCon. Yes, from here, I will rush back to Quezon City, also to deliver a speech and my farewell speech, all right? And election, of course. It's going to be the election of the new set of officers of PulseCon. My company is missing me too much already. I have been with PulseCon for too long now, but I feel that I have never been away, because at the end of the day, the accomplishment that I helped PulseCon to accomplish did not only work to help my own company, but the entire service contracting industry as a whole. Looking back, I see that my business success is deeply connected to the values of my company, Executive Genesis, and my leadership at PulseCon. It's all about serving people, helping them become productive, and yes, productive members of the society, and contributing to our business growth. Our ultimate victory lies in the success of those who are integral to our business. Finally, to better illustrate the ideals that I stand for as a woman and a business person, and the embodiment of my company's tagline, that we develop people, I leave you with this short clip. Mabuhay po tayong lahat, and God bless everyone.
Ako nga po pala si Joseph Aviles. May kulay call me Tats or Tata kasi sa family ko eh.
Asawa po ako ni Joseph Aviles. Tawag po nila sa akin, nickname actually is Millet.
Childhood sweethearts sina Tata at Millet. At dahil na rin sa kagustuhang makaahon sa kahirapan, maaga silang parehong namasukan sa iba't ibang uri ng trabaho.
Nakasama ako sa yun na nga, sa Muruami Fishing. Hanggang marami akong naranasang trabaho.
Naka 6 years ako sa Hong Kong nung dalaga pa ako. Nung umuwi ako after 6 years, nagpakasal kami.
Abundant naman kami. Binibless kami ng Panginoon. That's what he said. Ganun daw. Pero dumating din ang time na kinuha din ng Panginoon yan. Kaya nakapag-decide ako na mag-abroad.
Namasukan si Tata sa Taiwan. Ngunit hindi nagtagal ay na-terminate ang kontrata nito. Pagbalik sa Maynila, natanggap siya bilang janitor sa Executive Genesis. At ito na ang naging simula ng kanilang tuloy-tuloy na pagbangon.
Nagja-janitor ako, nagkiskis ako ng sahig, naglinis ako every Saturday yun.
Sa ngayon, ay mayroon ng sariling bahay ang pamilya ni Tata. nabili nila ito. Salamat sa tulong pinansyal na mula sa Executive Genesis.
Ang sabi, why not? Naghanap ka rin yung kagaya na Emma, na kahit rights lang. Sige, maghanap ka, ako lang bahala sa'yo. Yun ang natandaan kung sinabi niya sa akin. Siyempre, ako naman excited rin. Naghanap ako doon. Mayroong nag-offer sa amin yung bahay namin mismo ngayon. So sabi ko, ma'am, binigyan ako ng last day. Kung hindi ko mabayaran ngayon, ibigay na sa iba. Wala siyang patumpik-tumpik. Sige, mag-inkas ka. Pero bayad agad siya.
May kwarto yung mga bata kami. Hindi na kami sa isang bed na sama-sama kami. Secure na kami sa feeling namin kasi may sarili kami yung bahay, hindi namin nangungupahan. Pero yung pang araw-araw, medyo may mga times na si tata is papasok, naglalakad. Kasi yung pamasahin niya, bibigay niya sa amin. Pambili ng bigas. Pero sabi ko, matatapos din. Matatapos din tayo, pababayaan ng Panginoon.
Hindi na naglalakad ng malayuan si tata ngayon dahil nakapundar na rin siya ng sariling motorsiklo. Pero pinakamahalaga sa lahat ay ang pagtaguyod ni Tata at Milet sa edukasyon ng kanilang 3 anak.
Yung asawa ko walang trabaho. Pero sinasadya talaga rin, plano talaga namin na huwag kang mag-work. So doon na lang siya nakatutok sa mga bata. Wala kaming pamasahe pag tricycle. Lakad kaming 3. Habang nalalakad kami, tunuturuan namin sa yung multiplication table.
Yung parents po namin, strict po talaga sila. Pero lagi po nilang sinasabi sa amin na dinediscipline lang nila kami and that means na mahal nila kami. Yung pagmamahal po nila, yung nagiging motivation namin, inspiration namin sa pag-aaral namin, simula nung maliliit pa talaga kami.
Kapag nga po recognition namin sa school, sunod-sunod po kami, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. Pag first honor, sunod-sunod din pong aakyat sila sa stage. And sabi nila, nakakapagod daw. Pero ayun po, thankful po kami sa kanila.
Yung devotion po namin as a family ever since, ay ginagawa po talaga namin din siyang bonding. Tapos usap-usap ko, kamusta ka na ba, nak? Ganyan. Ako po nasa LB po ako, so wala po ako most of the time sa bahay.
Ito, umiiyak niya.
But ayun po, pinaalalahanan pa din po ako ni Lord na every morning na gigising po ako ay magpipray pa din po ako kasi naalala ko po yung family ko.
Wala kaming binabayaran na tuition fee. I-reveal ko na yung 2 kong anak, DOST scholars sila. So may mga allowances sila.
Nagpapasalamat ako sa Panginoon. God answer my prayer na dinala ako dyan sa Executive Genesis na I know I'm surrounded with the good people pa rin. Like nila ni Ma'am Amy, nila ni Ma'am Mads. Lalo na si Ma'am Rhoda kasi alam kong siya ang patuloy na ginagamit ni Lord para sa buhay ko, para sa family ko. Kaya ang buhay namin kasi doon na kami nakaano sa Executive lalo na before. Sila ang ginamit ng Panginoon to form us a family na ma-build up namin yung family na ganito kami. Isa sa ginamit ng Panginoon, ang Executive Genesis.